I mean, you mentioned in there the Environmental Education Centre and the work you're doing with kids. Obviously, we mentioned it slightly on pause because of COVID-19, but maybe you could say a little bit more about and what that centre does and how it operates and what you think the kids are getting out of that.
So we do environmental education camps. Environmental education is actually a model. It's called the EE model, and what we do is we use that model and apply it in the forms of camps. So we have wildlife camps, we have marine life camps. So we take kids into the forest. We have over 20 different curriculums. Each curriculum is different. We have an elephant curriculum, kids from 3.5 years old all the way to university students. We have just before the COVID break, we had I think we were on like our 190th camp in 5 years. So we have a camp every week. So we have kids learning diving. We use diving as a tool for them to understand the underwater world. We set conferences for the youth to be able to show their passion and be able to speak on behalf of nature. And we work with schools. We work with corporates, private sector, public sector. We have a production house inside. We do documentaries to educate certain areas wherever anyone approaches us to collaborate with them. So it's a center, but the heart of it is just that nature is our classroom, and we just use nature to educate people because we feel that education leads to inspiration and motivation for them to conserve. And starting at when we're young, we're just thinking like if we have 100 kids, we educate 100 kids. 20 years time, we have 100 more people that are more eco-friendly, I guess. So whatever they decide, that is our form of sustainability to our natural resources in the long term.
So it's not really, it's partly teaching kids skills, but it's also, I guess, you're trying to sort of inspire a group of, you're actually trying to sort of breed a group of eco-activists, really, to try and change what's going on in Thailand and globally. Do you have students coming from outside Thailand yet, or is that?
Yeah, we do. Last year we had a Southeast Asian camp. We had it from three, including Thailand, 4 different countries coming together. That was very challenging. We had, I think we had Malaysia, Indonesia, I think it was Philippines, I'm not sure, in Thailand. They all came from different cultures, different religions, and it was very, very interesting. But the interesting part was that no matter where the child is from around the world, they love nature, they love animals, and it was so this year we're also hoping to attract more from people from abroad, and then we've also tried to work with we've been approached by the European Union before, and myself, I work very closely with the United Nations as well. So we're trying to like find a project where because I feel that it's not just a camp for kids. I feel that it's actually a form for sustainability reasons that more people around the world should take it more seriously.
I mean, can I ask me what are the main sort of messages you're getting from people in these camps? What's their chief concerns at the moment? Is it around the specifics of wildlife conservation? Is it sort of the bigger stuff around climate change? What are you hearing that's maybe sort of shaping the way you develop your centre?
We have many curriculums. Like I'm doing a project now that we're trying to move around into 11 different provinces around Thailand, and we're raising awareness and using an education process to let the locals in different areas understand different problems, whether it's climate change, which leads to coral bleaching. We have on marine debris. We have on the forest problems we have up north, and just all these different parts that play a part in like pollution, just everything. We're just trying to get everything involved too. But the main thing is that I think that when we have the students, what we try to teach them and what we try to let them know is that like all the problems are actually very, very deep problems, and most of them are problems that have been building up for years and years and years, and it's very difficult to untie the knot in certain areas. So we want them to be able to look at it on a on a neutral perspective rather than being a hardcore activist. We want them to really understand the situation, which is why we take them to camps. Once we take them diving, we let them talk to the local people, we let them talk to the scientists so that they could really understand that conservation is actually a lot more complicated than it may seem.
Yeah. So I guess you agree that probably here in Thailand and globally, across the world, we're really not doing enough to mitigate the challenges posed by marine pollution or climate change. And you've talked a little bit about one of the ways you're raising awareness. I mean, what is the best way of approach now? What more can we be doing to raise awareness of these issues and to build this community? I mean, I was reading in your bio you've got this. Is it hug?
Yeah, hug forest,
got Tale.
Yeah, that's right. Got Tale.
What's that all about then?
So it has been my personal mission for many years, but I didn't feel that the time was right. But the idea was like we did an event in Krabi. We got other celebrities. My partner, she was involved, and we were together, and we pretty much did a education, entertainment, I would say conference, but it's more of like an assembly feeling for schools. So what we did was we were down south in Krabi, and we got over 10 schools, and we got them in one room, and we had a interactive session with them to teach them about the environment, using celebrities, using music, making it a bit more fun, not the same ordinary kind of ways, and make it a bit more relatable to them, try to link it to their own lives. We did that with 1,000 kids in the morning and then another 600 kids in the afternoon. The next day we went to the island and we educated the local people in the island for them to understand the process of conservation in their local areas. And then the last day we had an event which got around 800 people together in the province of Krabi. So that's the model, and that was all on marine debris. We plan to move around different provinces over the next 18 months, and I'm probably the leader, the one, getting the kids clapping their hands and singing for them and all that kind of stuff. But the idea is to have a new way of teaching them about the environment. I'm not a teacher, I'm not an expert myself, but I could turn my personal experiences to make it more relatable to them. And I understand that if they see a celebrity on stage, they're more willing to listen more than their teachers maybe. So just trying to make myself at use and hopefully solve problems of different ecosystems around the country. So hopefully, but it was very good. It went really well, and then the COVID came in. So hopefully we could start by the end of this year and go to a different province.
I mean, it's great. I mean, I think it's fantastic that people, your idols, people that the young youth of Thailand look up to, are sort of taking these sort of global issues and really sort of being a voice. I don't quite know how you manage to do it all. I mean, how do you fit all this in with your career? I mean, there must be tensions.
It's quite tough. Quite tough. Last year was a very tough year. Last year was a lot of traveling. I was traveling every single week, and like EEC, I want to keep control of it all the time. I don't want to just let it go. So half of the week I'm on set, and the other half I'm working on conservation one way or another. So, but I have a great team. So our organization has probably doubled over the last year in terms of resources. We have more people. We have a team of professors. We have a team for everything now. So that obviously helps a lot. But at the same time, just myself, I really want to be there and make the decisions when I can. So it's a lot about time management, I think, and very little sleep.
I can relate to that.
Yes, I'm sure.
I mean, one of our sort of big focuses for this coming year is COP26, which obviously the UK is hosting with Italy, and sort of trying to get countries around the world to sort of increase their ambition for sort of dealing with the emissions targets. And part of that is also around biodiversity. It's around nature-based solutions. I have to say, probably the work I'm doing on that doesn't sound quite as sexy or as exciting as the work you're doing, and I'm pretty sure I don't have as many sort of followers as you do. So it's great and very inspirational to hear from someone like you just taking this as a real personal challenge and putting yourself, your energies and all your sort of celebrity status and your efforts into it. So thank you very much. I wonder, could we ask you maybe just to give a message for World Ocean Day, Coral Triangle Day?
Okay.
What we should say to the greater public?
Okay, so I think that like personally, I feel that the ocean is very important as it's what connects people to people. All people living in different countries, but around the world, we're all connected by the ocean. So whatever our actions do that have a negative impact towards the ocean, it's actually not only people in our area, but it's everyone around the world. So I think that we need the people at home to really contribute in their everyday living to make a difference. And as we could see in the whole, like in Thailand, in the whole COVID-19 coronavirus situation, where everyone was very afraid of it and everyone played a part, it actually ended up making such a huge difference to then what was predicted at the very beginning. So I think that the ocean is pretty much the same case, and we need everyone involved, and we need to sustain our natural resources because they will slowly go away if we don't.
Thank you very much, Alex. I have to say, I thought I was doing well with my own small bits about not using plastic bags, but you've challenged me to do a little bit more, and I'm sure you've challenged everyone watching to do a bit more for this. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a real pleasure, and it's been a really great conversation. And thanks for all the great work you're doing.
Thank you.
The future generations will thank you too.
Thank you. It's a great honor to be here, and my dad will be very proud.
Thanks.